I'm attorney Zach Townsend with Pro Legal Care. I have been handling high conflict family cases since 2011. The system would have you believe that it takes two people to have a high conflict family case. The truth is that usually there is one abuser and one victim. There are solutions for this type of problem, and I can help. High conflict relationships often deal with a lot of emotion, sometimes feelings over facts, denying reality, sometimes causing you to question your reality, causing you to be isolated or cut off from your resources, where it feels like not a partnership, but a competition. There's somebody who wants to win. There are false narratives. There are fake emergencies. Are you dealing with somebody who believes they're an expert at everything? Many people would say that these are symptoms of narcissistic behavior, but the important part is that the label doesn't matter. The label is not normally what the court would use. What the court would use are the actions, the behaviors, the conduct. You don't need a diagnosis. What you need is a documented pattern of behavior that is harmful or causes risk to you or your children. The courts generally don't look at what type of person you are or what type of person your opposing party is. The court looks at what have you done and what is the conduct that the parties have exhibited, events, facts, incidences, occurrences. That's what the court looks at, not what type of person are you. It's not uncommon for somebody who's in a relationship with someone of this nature to start to question themselves. Am I the problem? Am I the crazy one? That's part of the purpose of this type of behavior, is to cause you to question your own reality. Are you dealing with somebody who shows an attitude of entitlement? Someone that feels like they have ownership, the child is their possession, someone that talks about their child as if the child doesn't have any autonomy, uses words like access my child, puts their own needs ahead of the child's needs, someone who says the child's going to have to compromise and the child's going to have to deal with it because it's not the child's time, it's my time. That's the type of person that can make a high conflict family case drag on for years. We address those types of behaviors by not engaging on an emotional level. We don't play tug of war with those types of people. When you just have a couple of minutes before the judge, every little bit counts. And just the smallest distraction can take away from what's really important, can take away from what really happened, can take away from the truth. We can counter this by documenting everything. You need to have a journal, a log, a diary, a timeline, something where you jot down things that happen. Notes, especially anything related to the children. Just take a few minutes each day, write down what happened. One of the ways to protect yourself best in a situation like this is to be organized and to be prepared. When you have a high conflict case with a narcissist, it is important that you deal with specific examples, not conclusions, not opinions, but specific events. What actually happened? That's why documenting everything is very important, because in court, we show. We don't tell. That means that we specify the facts that leads the judge to believe that this person has a problem. If you say this person has a problem, that's not going to be very persuasive. If you show that this person has a problem, that's going to be persuasive. Documenting incidences is simple. You write it down, but it's deceptively simple because it's powerful and it's very real. It brings to life what happened. The reason you want to document everything is because it doesn't help to just say, well, this happens all the time, because it's not specific. The point of documenting something is to be very specific. You want to make sure that you write down every time that there's a drop-off, every time that there's a pickup, really any time that there's communication. An easy way to do that is through a court-ordered app for parenting communication, where you have your messages that cannot be deleted. They're time-stamped for when they were sent and when they were last opened. They cannot be modified. They can be accessible directly from the provider of that communication tool. Having the facts detailed out helps you stay organized and helps you unmask the narcissist. It helps show the judge the true colors, who that person really is, because that's what this is about. They don't want the judge to know who they really are. That's why the details are so important. These methods are helpful when you're dealing with a high conflict family case. We don't need a diagnosis. A diagnosis is not specific facts and incidences and occurrences. That allows the judge to make their own conclusion. You need help. You need someone who's dealt with this type of a person before. You need someone who recognizes these patterns of behavior, and I can help. Call me, we'll schedule a consultation and show you your new path forward.